Some of us have put away our fathers, our mothers, husbands or wives, sisters or brothers, uncles, aunts, cousins, and just friends who died too soon. What I want to talk to you about is the meaning of life, and what a precious gift life is. There will always be problems in life because God didn't intend for life to be a smooth road. And this is why he tests every life before it comes into existence to see whether it is worthy to run the race of life. Did you know that you are worthy to run this race? Did you know that you were strong enough to handle the vicissitudes of life? The hostile middle passage between where you were resting as sperm and until the meeting of sperm with egg. And God didn't want one sperm emitted, although only one is necessary to do the job. Millions are emitted, but only one can fertilize the egg. Because many are called, but just a few are chosen. And the race has never been to the swift or to the strong, but to him who can endure to the end. So God wanted to know whether we could run the race, so he put us first in a hostile environment. Then he made us work in competition with millions more to see which one of us could swim the fastest, the hardest to get to the egg. And evidently, you were the one, because you made it. And check this out. He made us swim against the force of gravity. Meaning you had to go up against a force that was pulling you down. But you made it because you were coming into a negative world, into a hostile environment that you and I would be challenged to change. And there would be competition, so you shouldn't mind competition. And you would have to run uphill to get to God. So if you could do it as sperm, don't tell me now that you're a big grown man and woman that you can't handle things. Don't tell me that now, with all this God that you know and all this Jesus that you know, you falling out now. You got to go take a drink, smoke a reefer, or do something else crazy to get yourself together. There wasn't no drinking when you were sperm. You had to make it. You couldn't take time out for Schlitz or malt liquor. You couldn't say, I have to take the pause that refreshes and get me a Coke. You had to be about your business. Otherwise, you would not be the one that made it to the end. But today, you gotta stop. It's terrible. Life is so hard. As though people weren't dying before. Well, you might as well get yourself together. Your loved one can't come to you, but you and I surely are on our way to all our loved ones. It's just a matter of time. So the question is, funerals are not for the dead. We do all these things at funerals, prolonging the agony and the grief of the families, singing songs that the dead can't hear nothing? Why are you going to sing the dead's favorite song when the dead can't hear it? It may not be the husband's favorite song. But when you do that, you put more grief on the bereaved ones. All this long talk about what they did, the reason you there is because you know what they did. They did good, and their good touched you. That's why you came, to honor them. It's not necessary to wear people out with long services that are so merciless. You preaching now. Organ grinding, people falling out, trying to jump in a casket, jump in a grave. You'll be there soon enough. And when your time comes, you're not going to want to jump where you planning to jump. And maybe if we treated one another better, we wouldn't have so many regrets when our loved ones are taken from us in the twinkling of an eye. But it's because we talk Jesus, we talk Muhammad, we talk Moses, we talk God, we talk the prophet, but we live a life according to the lusts of our flesh. So we hurt one another. We inflict pain on one another. We don't speak to one another or treat one another the way we would like to be treated. So when death comes to any one of us, we wish, oh Lord, if I had just acted a little better this morning. You thought you'd be able to come back tonight and make it right. But none of us knows the hour. Nobody knows it but God. So when you leave in the morning, it's good to leave right. And when you get a chance, when you have an argument with your loved one, set it straight. Get it right. So that when the evil accident of time overtakes any one of us, we can say, Lord, I did my best. I thank you for the life that you gave my mother, my father, my sister, my brother. I thank you for what they brought into my life. They may be gone, Father, but their life has strengthened my life and given me more resolve to live for you. God is the author of death. And he is the author of life. And the only way we can escape dying is to escape birth. But if you come to birth, it is sure that we're going to die. Some young, some old, and some, the Quran teaches, are returned to the worst part of life, that after knowing you know nothing. See, if you live long enough, you'll come to the worst part of life, when after knowing you act like you don't know anymore. Your children got to take care of you then. You lose control of your bladder, and you lose control of your bowels, and you lose the ability to remember. You lose the faculties that your children knew you had so in your grip. You're helpless then. And it's then that the children are tested. Will you put your mother away when your mother didn't put you away? Will you put your father away and then don't go see them when they looked after you when you couldn't look after yourself? You mean you want no discomfort? You can't wake up in the night for mama But mama woke up in the night for you. You can't clean mama. I don't like to do that. But mama may not have liked it, but she cleaned our stinking backsides, and that's why we are here today. So funerals are for the living. They are reminders to bring you back from your insane behavior. And you know we crazy. You look real holy in here today. But you should have seen them last night. You know it's right. So death, when it comes in the house, see, it stops your wild career. You may be on crack, but that moment, what? Who? He gone? You may be drunk, but what? Gone? Death will sober you up quick. And especially when it's your best friend and you know you were worse than he or she was. And you ask God, why didn't you take me? Because he wanted your friend to be an example to help you straighten up your life. So when you look at those who go on before us, that's God's mercy. You got a little time now. Maybe you can get your thing together. I heard a Baptist preacher one day when I was a young boy in college. The best preaching I heard in my life. Jesse calls me a frustrated Baptist preacher. He said that Muslim, he's a Baptist preacher sure enough. I really am not, but I love good preaching. And this man, I went to his church this day in Reedsville, North Carolina. And I only had a quarter in my pocket. You know, college students, we don't have a lot of money. And I was 40 miles from my college, and I had a ride, but I needed that quarter. You know, to get a little hot dog or something to kind of fill up my empty space. But Lord, that man preached. And his text was, what are you doing with God's time? Life is like a vapor. It appears for a short time and then it vanishes. Those of us who have lived a little while, I'm getting up there. I'm quite young, really and true. And in reality, I'm really just a baby. And some of you in here that are older than I am, you just babies too. But you think death. You've been programmed to think, well, it's time now, it's getting close. How old are you? 75. Where you going? Well, you know, I done lived my 70, and I even got 5 more, and I'm on borrowed time now. See, when you think death, you program yourself to go. Jesus said, as a man thinketh, so is he. I want to talk to you today about life, not about death. I'll mention death because I think it should be mentioned. But life is the most precious gift that he gave us. And we must learn how to preserve it, how to protect it, and how to keep it as long as we can. And most of all, we must learn how to live it. And you can't learn how to live it unless you know the purpose of it. Y'all all right? All right, let's take a little quick run through the scripture.